this particular amp, 1987 Twin Reverb. First year that was made with the printed circuit boards. 4 6L6s, 2 12 AT7s, and then the last 5 are 12 AX7s, just like the tube chart says. I always like to change the AT7s first. Last owner had a AX7 in there. Not the same tube. I always place the old tube into the new one. I try not to touch the pins. I'll put the old one away after. Gap is in the back. There's a gap in this pattern. Make sure it's fully seated. It is. Just put the sleeve back on. I know this is an AX7 even though it doesn't say AX7 on it, because it says it's a 725. That's another name for an AX7. Was in there. Wow, this is a CBS. That's cool. CBS is a company that owned Fender before they sold it to the company that made this one. This is the first model, the first amp, the first year that the new company in 1987 made, actually. Funny coincidence that. The AT7s are usually used for things like driving reverb. Which is probably why this one is right next to the reverb input and output into the chassis. I don't think I'm lining that up right. There it is. Okay, metal sleeve. Okay, 2 AT7s down, 5 AX7s to go. These two are AX7s, and the last 3 on the right and the back are AX7s. So I'm going to just do those the same as I did those last 2. This is just another reason why I swap out all the tubes when I buy an amp used. Because I always find all bizarre models. This is a nice 12AX7. It's Electro Harmonics, a Russia model. made in Russia, rather. And I also find different countries. There's only a couple manufacturers actually that make tubes in the whole world. Doesn't matter what brand or anything. There's like a factory in Russia, a factory in China. There's really, I think there's like 5 buildings or something like that in the world. It's crazy. And my 79 Twin Reverb, my silver face, the rare 135 watt master volume, push-pull master volume amp. I'm running Russian 12AX7s in that one, but Groove Tubes doesn't sell the Russian 12AX7s anymore. They only sell a Chinese one, and that's fine. I'll use those instead. They're a little more crystalline, like a little more trebly, higher treble sound. The Russians have more of a high mid-range sparkle to them. These sound a little more brittle. But this is going to be a overdrive amp, whereas my other one, my 79, is actually my clean amp, so it'll be fine. Alright, 12AX7s. Preamp tubes are done. Onto the power tubes. I like using Groove Tubes. There's a lot of tube companies out there, and like I said earlier, it's only a couple manufacturers of. This is Russian. $8707. Not familiar with that. There's only a couple buildings that actually make tubes. And so companies put their names on them after. And they have them make it with certain specs and designs, things like that. I like Groove Tubes. Use any tube you want, any manufacturer you like. All these tubes only line up one way, so you gotta just look at it, make sure you got it right. Make sure it's really in there good. Wow, the spring's really tight. Like tighter than it should be tight. Same tube. It's always a bit harrowing changing the tubes, but it's very, very necessary. Last two power tubes. These tubes are pentodes. Preamps are triodes. Try to keep cobwebs off my transformers and stuff. Make me nervous. Okay, I got all these tubes. I bought them in a quad. I got them all in, that way I get them all the same number. They're all number 7. All in the same range, which I like for when I'm biasing. Get the same number, and I like 7. I think it's like the perfect number. This is good to go.